The Big Show.
All right, Greg. A lot to talk about, as always. Bunch of really critical games again this week. But I do want to start with a sad story. I'll actually be in Pittsburgh Saturday night, Christmas Eve, for the Raiders and the Steelers. They are retiring Franco Harris's jersey that night. It'll be the third Steeler ever to have his jersey retired. And I guess suddenly, I don't have any more information than that, but passed away yesterday, Greg, at age 72. Just curious. Obviously, I know you've watched him a bunch. I don't know if you've ever had interaction with him, but just any thoughts you can share about Franco Harris, the player or the person, would be appreciated.
Yeah, I don't recall ever meeting Franco Harris, Ross, so I really can't speak to him as a person, although he is from South Jersey. He went to Rancocas Valley High School, which is not far from where I'm sitting right now at NFL Films. He was in a different era of football. It's interesting. He was part of a Steelers team that sort of made a transition. Those first two Super Bowls were built on the run game, and then they kind of made the transition with Terry Bradshaw as he developed into a Hall of Fame player, into a passing team with Stallworth and Swan, and Harris was obviously still great. But that's what I remember. I started working at NFL Films in 1979, so it was kind of at the end of the Steelers dynasty run. So I don't have memories of it other than watching as a fan when I was, in high school and college, but not memories necessarily from actually seeing tape of it. But it was just, that was, as you certainly know, that was a different era of football where backs were really considered foundational pieces of offense. Every team thought that you started your offense with the run game, because everybody wanted to be like Vince Lombardi's Packers in the 60s. And that was the way the NFL saw offense up to a certain point where the game kind of changed. But that's the way look, you look back and how many backs were taken number 1, number 2, number 3 in drafts back then. I think was it 1980 when George Rogers was the first pick in the draft? It was just a different way that teams played.